Should I stand here? So you might get a shot of the Wang Shui too. But the light changes though, you know, if I stand here, right? So the concept behind this title of our show is that if one source of energy can nourish all life equally, we hope that a more diverse source could lead to a happier, more equitable world for everyone, including the LGBTQ community. We have a mission to foster a stronger, healthier, and more equitable world for the queer community and its allies through the collection and exhibition of art. The question we ask ourselves is how well would it work in an exhibition in terms of size, subject matter, or even how they would have a dialogue being placed juxtaposition to each other. So this is Trevor Young, very cleverly using plants to talk about how gay people often cruise in public area, hidden. Imagine you are visiting a prison, talking to someone, you know. These 3 convicts are actually like 3 women who want to steal sperm from men for commercial benefits. These 10 videos are about sexual deviance. But of course, the law changed, social attitude changed. Some of these considered convicts may not necessarily be criminals nowadays. Here we have Bubin Kaka, the man lying in bed. He was quite old then, and he was ill, and he was taken care of by his then lover. But he imagined that his previous relationship, friends, relatives, boyfriends, lovers, would be revisiting him in spirit. He would not paint any explicit gay or sex scene until his mother died. It's a very emotional painting which moves me tremendously. No matter how well we're outside or how successful we are, we always worry that we will upset our mother. So I realized that I started Sunpride Foundation in year 2014, which is the same year that my mother passed away. It was not a conscious decision. When we first started, the difficulty was to identify, especially the older generation. You know, in those days, people just don't come out, you know, and you wouldn't know, and I don't want to assume they are, so it's almost like a detective work. We commissioned this work because it specifically answers the topic mythology, myth makers. This is the Emperor Han, and this is his lover, Dong Xian. He did not want to wake his lover. So rather than just abruptly pull himself away, he would cut the sleeves so that the lover can sleep peacefully. Homosexuality has always existed in our culture. With these particular commission work at Myth Makers, I'm not really involved in the development process, but my best part was to see the end result. When it was the first time for me to see the completed products, you know, I was like overwhelmed. You know, the works are just stunning. You know, Ellen's work, Samson's work. I believe they have paid so much effort into what they're doing for Myth Makers. I'm really, really humbled. My friend said this is where the real Hong Kong people live, you know. So young people could afford to come here, so it's a good mixture. Having these like old crafts and then the like chic cafes, you know, which is why I love this neighborhood. You know, we have more than a dozen local artists, and out of the 8 commissioned work, we have half of them from Hong Kong, which I'm very proud of. We focus on Asia because we believe that the queer rights needs more efforts here. I remain optimistic because I believe the world is changing. I still feel I'm just as passionate now as I started 8 years ago.